Hello everyone. So today we'll be discussing the second OWASP Top 10 AI, which is a sensitive information disclosure. Uh, so the way you can find it here, like you go to the OWASP Top 10 AI, you select LLM Top 10 for 2025. It gives you a list of OWASP Top 10 AI or LLM or generative AI, whatever you want to say. So this is sensitive information disclosure LLM 02 2025. So this is pretty intuitive and pretty. This is something that is not new in terms of security threat or security attack surface. This threat is also this threat also exists in non-ALLM application and other parts of the security. So this is for this one. The use case is in use case or like the scenario is a little bit interesting. So the way they explained is so there is one scenario. First scenario is that you go to the chat GPT and you ask some questions, and while in the process of doing so, you put some information that is confidential. For example, you copy pasted your PI, your personal information, or maybe you copy pasted your company's code base code from your company's code base, and then try to gather the output from the chat GPT. Whatever your desired outcome is, you are trying to get it from chat GPT, but in the process you are feeding the information, proprietary or private information, to the model. Now there is an option that says that this data will not be used for the training. You can set it up in chat GPT that way. But but yeah, so if you do that, maybe you can prevent it. But let's say some other models, they don't respect this privacy policy and they just use this data to train their model, or they use this data to internally for any other purposes. So in this case, the way you inputted the information uh, causes a sensitive information leak, and which is like taking away your proprietary information from the company or your personal information and sending it to the public. And I believe there was an incident, uh, one of the big companies, I don't remember who that is, but people are copy pasting the code from their company code bases and posting it into the some LLM, I think in ChatGPT, and it exposed the code to the like private code to the outside world or something, some kind of vulnerability like that. So that's one scenario. So you are inputting some information to get your desired output from the LLM, feeding the private or proprietary information. That's one aspect. Another one is from the training side. So when that these like engineers or LLM owners, like the model owners, when they train the LLM with their own data, maybe that data has some proprietary information, and the model is trained with that proprietary information. And while someone from the outside using that model uh, accidentally discovers that training information from their during their usage. So this is the other way around. So in this case, like the model owners are putting the sensitive data into the model, and that's been exposed to the clients or users side. So that's another way the sensitive information is leaked. Other than that, let's see if there is any other use cases. Uh, Maybe let's see. Let's think. So it's telling a lot of different security controls that I can use. Input validation, which is like uh, basic security measures that you can do. Yeah, so also like maybe there is a way this there is they're talking about some kind of CBE. I have read a little bit into it, but I don't know what proof point does. So like so don't know much about this one. But maybe like the proprietary algorithm, there is a way you can just that algorithm can be exposed to the outside world. Maybe. So that's one of the threat also. Not only data, your whole model or algorithm can be exposed. And here it's saying that some input validation you have to do. So input validation, data sanitization, and input validation, I believe is talking about. So data sanitization, it can be both from the both side from the user side. You can sanitize your data, meaning like you can clean up your data, make sure that it doesn't have anything proprietary or anything private. And also from the owner side, when you train them or LLM models, you don't provide anything proprietary information. So there is one thinking. So if you cannot customize, you cannot put the customized code to an LLM model, then how effective that LLM can be to solve your problem, right? So in this case, probably like each company may adopt as their own private LLM instead of using like the Chat GPT, something like public, because if you give like the generic information, taking out like the proprietary code information, proprietary code from and you're trying to get some code out of that, you will only get a generic response. If you provide a generic input, most likely you will get a generic response, so and also that brings the point also like this rumor that AI will replace the engineers. I don't think at, it's at that point still I think it has a long way to go. But this is one thing one thing to think about. Like if you put like generic code, it will give you generic output. Uh, Robust input validation, yeah. So it's trying if you don't put the sensitive data, and it will also slow down your searching if you are a user. If you want to see like look through every time, like if you are not passing any sensitive data and putting it into the model, like the public model, it will slow down the searching in the LLM, I believe. Enforce strict access control. Mm, so I think it's talking about it. You can think of in both sides, like from the LLM owner side, maybe like so. Uh, mm, there are like engineers access has to be limited, which is the basic security principle that are like engineers will be working on the aspects or systems that only they are responsible for. They should not be getting access to other parts of the system, which makes sense. And from the user side, let's see what they mean. Strict access control. Maybe I don't think it's from the user side. It makes much sense. One thing the LLM or owners can do is like they I think what they do actually like they can containerize their instances to the user. So whatever the user does for that particular LLM, it's only separated for that particular LLM instance compared to compared to it's affecting to other LLMs or anything in the back end of the LLM model, I believe. Let's take data sources. Ensure runtime data collection is securely managed. model to external data sources. So this is something it's saying the limit model to external data sources. But then if you do that, then maybe it's talking about the like the marketplace or the public LLMs like ChatGPT is talking about that, because like the private LLMs or even in the RAG actually there is a way it should be looking into the external data sources. Uh, Maybe when there is no need, so the way I understand the RAG model is that you have your foundational model, and then you have your internal data, and you use the data to generate context for your foundational LLM model. And also you have a hook for external data sources, so that you can your LLM is fine tunes your answer. But here it's saying that you don't have the external data, just use the internal data. And maybe, yeah, there's one option, but it's not always an option for the models that requires an external data. Utilize federated learning. Yeah, so it's talking about like the modularizing the different data sources, which is always a good idea to do, not only for security, also for from auditing, and also from maintenance. Yeah, I think that's also a good suggestion. Incorporate differential privacy. Okay, so it's adding noise to the data or outputs. Yeah, so again, if you can do that, it's some, I think, somewhat similar to, not I would not say salting. Salting is a different thing, but some noise, you some random bits you add, something like that, right, during the encryption, right? Um, no, it's not. I was thinking wrong, but basically, it's trying to obfuscate or make it random, adding some bits or add noise actually. But that brings the question that it you need more processing of the data when you present it to the users, so that increases the complexity of removing the noise from the data before presenting it to the users. So that's one option, but it comes with, I believe, comes with the trade-off of implementing more systems. Educate users on safe LLM usage. Okay, so it's basically talking about user training and awareness. So that makes sense. Ensure transparency in the data usage. So yeah, it's saying that policy of data retention and usage and deletion. I believe that they totally follows it. They totally follow, which is laughable. Which I don't think so. Like they don't. Okay, never mind their privacy. So you have the privacy, and in a perfect world, assuming that every company respecting this privacy laws. Data usage laws, okay. And conceal systems preamble. Mm, let me see if I'm still recording or not. Yeah, I am recording. Okay. Conceal limit the ability for users to override the access system's initial settings. So this is not, I'm not sure what that means, but let's not invest much time on here. The video is getting a little bit longer. I can do some research and I can let you know later what that means. Reference security misconfiguration best practices. So it's referring to an OWASP top 10 security misconfiguration, probably something with the default settings. Also, I have to research on a little bit on what that what this means in LLM context. Homomorphic encryption, how to enable secure data analysis, privacy preserving machine learning. This is homomorphic. I think did some research. Oh, so I don't know. So it's homomorphic means like you do some calculation. Oh, okay, so it's talking about some kind of like end-to-end encryption. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure what that means. So I have to do some research on it on that. Tokenization and redaction is a common technique to like redact sensitive information. That also adds one layer of complexity. So you have to have this tokenization and redaction system, and also like how effective they are. That's one thing to consider. And then again, it tells a little different attack scenario targeted. So one is unintentional, one is targeted prompt injection, and one is data leak where training data. So this is pretty much it for sensitive information disclosure. I believe this is the second one. So and I'll be coming up with the third was top 10 AI for LLM, and hope you guys stayed with me on with the video. And if you have any feedbacks and comments, just let me know. I'm reachable at LinkedIn at MD Farhan Hawk, and you can also comment here on the chat box. Thank you, guys, and have a good night.